Today we're breaking down Coke and Oreo's collaborative packaging to go through what works, what doesn't, and how to compete on shelf. This is important for you if you're looking to design better packaging, understand how to stand out on shelf, and if you're looking to compete without spending a ton of money on your packaging. If you're new here, my name is Evelio and Mattos. I host Packaging Unboxed. I've spent the last 15 years designing packaging for fashion brands, cosmetic brands, CPG brands all over the world, and sharing what I've learned on stages across the planet. Today, we're also joined by my friend Adam Peak, who's got a ton of experience. He's got a TED Talk on sustainability and packaging. He's at the moment visiting the UN to talk about sustainability. So we're going to jump right into the show, and you're going to walk away understanding a little bit more about packaging, how to design it better, and really the big questions that you've got to ask in order to improve your packaging. Let's get to it. Right, so Oreo and Coke has come together to do a collaboration. They've got their packaging. We're going to go through their packaging. What works, what doesn't work. Adam, as soon as you see this packaging on shelf, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, so I went to go find it first, and I couldn't find it in the Oreo section. Why would you not have the Oreos in the Oreo section? It was in a different part of the store. But what was interesting is I immediately recognized it as the Oreo and Coke collaboration. Now, maybe that's because the algorithm on LinkedIn and Instagram has me figured out, I guess, and it knows all this stuff because I've seen, this and a bunch of other stuff that hopefully we'll be talking about has some virility to it on social media. But I knew what it was.
Yeah.
And I was excited. I was able to find it. I've got a lot of questions, man, about all of it.
You know what it looked like. So you knew what you're looking for. I did too. But honestly, if I saw this on shelf, I would not have connected the two together, I think. But had I not seen this on social as black and red, then I wouldn't have put the two together.
I was curious though, why was there a Coca-Cola watch on the front? I saw it because of the way they have the cookie stacked. I was like, why do they have oh, that's the cookie. Why does it go from tiny cookie to big cookie into a watch face? Was very confusing.
Yeah. It's like the shape of the bottle, but it's not quite, there's a lot wrong here and things that I think.
Is that what they're doing? That's the shape of the bottle. It is, isn't it? I had no idea.
I thought you were kidding.
No, I honestly didn't know that till right now. I just was like, what is this? Why does it?
It's the Eiffel Tower. It's for the Olympics.
Look, kids, big bet.
Yeah. So, all right, man. So for me, Coke, what color is Coke? Coke is red.
Coke red.
Coke red. Oreo, blue. Collab, black. This didn't make any sense to me. They also have, the drink in black with the Oreos up and down in that bottle shape as well. I think if you're creating,
why do they do the bottle shape though in the Oreos? What's the Oreo doesn't have a bottle? That's weird.
But it's the Coke bottle, right? It's like they're trying to smash these two things together in ways that doesn't necessarily make sense. If this is on shelf, what's working right now? What does work? But before we get into what doesn't work.
Well, I think that they've done a good job on social, right? Because I knew what it was. You knew what it was. Yeah. I knew I was looking for black. If I didn't know that, I don't know if I would just go past it or not. But it does create a bit of a pattern interrupt when you see Oreo and Coke and you see black. It's like, what is that? So I think there is a sense of that. There's a minimalism to it. So it's not just, filled with a bunch of things. It also flows through, if we want to get to like the QR code experience, the packaging flows through into the digital. Yep. And so everything sort of matches what they're trying to do, all matches from the can to the flexible film and then on to the digital. So you get the same experience. And I would say that's good.
For me, the black, I don't know. I think it's a miss. Oreo's blue. Great. Coke is red.
I thought we're talking about good things. I have so many bad things.
You're right. All right. You're right. You got me.
You tell me about a good thing here. Cause I'm honestly, I'm stretching a little bit. Thing. Tell me.
They spelled Oreo correctly. That's it. That's the only good thing I can tell you about this packaging. I think this is Coca-Cola packaging.
There are no typos on the packaging that we can find.
But this is, you mentioned this before we got started recording. This is super loud.
Yes.
So I guess let's get into the bad.
Okay.
Oh, here's another thing that is good. This icon on the back of the pack, which is a heart and a Coke bottle cap. I think it's a great use of design. This Besties Forever looks like Hershey's to me.
Mm-hmm.
That font looks exactly like Hershey's. Taste it while it lasts. I don't know if the taste is supposed to stop. Won't last. You've got red. You got the red bar over here for the red box for Coke, and you got a QR code. God, this is so loud.
I feel like the Coke red on this is off. Honestly, I don't know if this is the right Coke red. It obviously has a bit of a shadow on the front one, and on the back one, we've got this Coca-Cola Creations. I don't have like an X-Rite spectrophotometer or something like that to measure it against. And to be fair, the Coke red is not carrying this package, which I think is also part of the problem.
Yeah. No, and looking at it under the loop quickly, there's 2 blues, right? There's the 2 Oreo blues. Mm-hmm. There's white. I don't believe this is a white film. And then there's red and black.
Can I ask you a question, Evelio? Because you're the master designer. With this logo on the back, I didn't even notice it until you just pointed it out, the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have figured out a way to incorporate the bottle cap and Oreo, into the front of the package instead of hiding it on the back?
1,000,000%. This icon is stronger than this.
Than the Rolex
than
watch?
The watch. Yes. You're not going to get a Coke Rolex inside of this container.
No. Yeah, I agree. I like I said, I didn't even know it was there. And in terms of this reminds me of the Sun Chips compostable bag. Remember how loud it was? And the thing about Oreos is a lot of them have, and I know this because I have 5 children, and so I like to be able to go into the pantry and take the little peel tab and go, and then grab an Oreo and then slowly close it. I don't want my children who are anywhere in the house to hear me just like tiptoeing in and they just like, Mom, Dad's eating Oreos again. I'm like, no. Okay.
All right. So that's this guy. And then let's, quickly kind of run through the can. What's good, what's not good on the can. So give me one good thing on the can.
One good thing on the can is that it does not say infinitely recyclable. So that's a win. It just says recycle me. Praise the Lord. I thought the can packaging, like if this is supposed to be the front reminded me of.
Why is yours so much bigger than mine?
It's a thing. No, you bought the minis and I bought the
Magnum.
Whatever. I got the 12 fluid ounce Magnum. Again, the can is a little, there's less space, and so I just am so confused by the front. This literally looks like the Heffalump or like an elephant trunk or something.
This is like Beetlejuice, right? Like this kind of fits in with the Beetlejuice striped snake thing that's happening.
Oh,
now.
That's it. Yeah.
Like I don't know. There's a whole lot of stuff happening here. You've got the blue for Oreo. That is definitely not Oreo blue. I think I don't know what they did, but those 2 colors are not the same.
Well, it's hard though. I mean, if we're going to talk about matching colors, like you're talking about a clear film and then you're going to print onto an aluminum can, it's going to be very, very difficult to match those colors.
Oh, yeah. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do it, you may as well do it right. Also,
you thought this was Hershey's. My first look, I thought it said Beastie Boys. So I was like, oh, all right. We got license to ill going on here.
Yeah. But then you've also got like this Coca-Cola is not easy to read.
No,
by any means. Like there's nothing simple going. There's a logo, there's another logo, and there's this bottle made out of cookies. You can do this so much simpler and make things more legible. And Coca-Cola usually runs vertically, not horizontally, on cans.
Yeah.
Right. And you've got like the swoosh the swoosh that's missing from Coca-Cola. And it's weird because Coke is a liquid. So this is the primary product of Coke. So you've got Coke much larger. You got Oreo tiny. It's like Oreo is like an afterthought up at the top here. With the cookies themselves, you got a big giant Oreo logo, which I think should actually be a lot larger. and we get rid of this watch and then bring the other icon to the front.
Yeah.
And this black and black, I think we go with, I think it should go with the red. I think it should be Coke red in some kind of combination, the bigger logo, Coke, clearly visible on there. But
would you have done Coke red for the cookies? And maybe, and I see they can't do the Oreo because the blue is, there's another brand that rhymes with Mepsi that's probably going to be a little bit confusing. So maybe that, and you know, the red, I think about the like Chips Ahoy. Maybe they were trying to avoid some of the confusion between the two. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But you know, one thing that you did mention before we started recording was that this is a Coke Zero.
Yeah.
That never even dawned on me. Like, who the hell drinks Coke Zero?
Like I do. I'm in my mid 40s. Like if I have a soda, which is very rare, I'll have a Coke Zero. Are we going to try these things, by the way?
Yeah, we got to try these. Last time I made a video of unboxing food, people got pissed off that I didn't taste it.
By the way, this is still, I think more brands, honestly, can figure out ways to do the like this is obnoxious. I don't like that. The can opening though just brings back so many memories. It's like I'm about to be refreshed. I think there's some other products that could probably use that sort of can sound. But let's try this.
That audio branding. So I know what this tastes like to me. And it's not Oreo. It's like a vanilla Coke.
It tastes like vanilla Coke. It's exactly what it tastes like.
There's like a little aftertaste though. That is like, maybe it's the cream, the Oreo cream. I don't know.
No, it definitely tastes like vanilla Coke. It tastes really good. I mean, it's very sweet. If you're looking for like a refreshing Coke, if you bought this and you're like, I want to be happy with the sweetness, you're going to get happy sweetness. Wait, yours rips open?
Yeah, yours does too.
Where?
Wow, these have a really weird smell. Oof. It's just hard to see because of the black.
Oh, I found it.
Yeah, I couldn't see it either. Dude, these
and you know what it
really
says? Weird. Look down here. It says, I don't know if you can see it. It says slit appears when opened.
Well, yeah, no shit.
So they knew.
You can see it after you open it. You can't see it before it's opened.
All right. So the slit thingy is this. Oh, gross. This is opening so horribly.
Yeah.
Look, it's just like,
it's like,
oh my gosh.
It's like a gaping wound.
I can't sneak. It's like a mouth. Ah.
But get away.
There we go.
All right. These do not smell like Oreos to me. God, these things are so loud.
Oh. Okay.
Wait. What are they? What is it? Like the whole pack? Like smell that thing.
The whole
just
pack?
Just dig your nose in there.
Smells like PFAS. No, I don't know.
It smells like Play-Doh. I don't know. It's like
it does kind of smell like Play-Doh,
right? That's like a weird smell. You got one side of the cookie. You've got, so the cookie itself has all these little smooth areas between the raised bubbles and Coke logo, and they don't look healthy. Like the smooth areas don't look healthy. It's just kind of like bumpy. It's a baked good. I get it. Yeah. The Oreo side, that's why they cover the entire thing with texture, so you don't see the unhealthy looking flesh. Let's give these guys a shot.
The cookie flesh.
You bite Oreos?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, it's a one bite. You just shove it all in.
Oh, you want me to put the whole thing in? I was trying to be like a wine connoisseur. Were you like? You can't do that. This has popping candy in it. You can't do the popping candy and then Coke right afterward. Your head's going to explode.
That's how Mickey died.
Mm-hmm.
That's how Mikey died. Well, I can tell you, these taste like cinnamon.
They do. These are
weird.
I will tell you, I enjoy Oreos. I don't particularly enjoy these Oreos.
No.
It's a... Huh.
It's got carbon dioxide in them.
Ooh. I love some CO2.
Just grab a little out of
it does have carbon dioxide.
over at Mondelez, there's like a guy that's just like blowing, he's just blowing his breath on the cookie dough.
Wait, why does it say it has corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, salt, Coca-Cola syrup, which is high fructose corn syrup, water, caramel color, phosphoric? Why does it have corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, and then Coca-Cola syrup, high fructose corn syrup in the Oreos? There are 3 different types of sugars in here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we're never sleeping again.
I'm going to die.
All right, so we went through what's not working. What was good? What was bad?
This isn't bad. I thought this was
from a design standpoint. I think this is
the taste.
Yeah.
No, it's all a fail. But I'm saying the taste. This seemed tolerable.
Oh my god! Sorry. Fuck. It's a little too. That was the carbon dioxide from the cookies.
There's CO2 in the. I can't believe they put CO2 in the cookies. I just inject this with a little CO2. Don't worry about it. We pulled it from the air.
He's breathing his CO2 all over it. That's how they do.
Someone's sitting there with the Coke bottle.
He just goes like this and closes it. All right. So what would we do if a brand comes to you and they're like, all right, this is first round design. We're going to get this on shelf. Like, what are your challenging questions that you would ask them? Like, what are the things that they're going to do that they may not have thought of?
Well, so I think we come at these things from different perspectives. Because I am not a graphic designer. I just play one on TV. So when a brand comes to me and they're like, hey, we're going to get started, I'm normally the one who's starting from a structure side. I'm going to be burping for the next 15 minutes. This is, man, double CO2.
Dude, it's crazy.
Between the popping candies and the Coke Zero. Wow. But I want to know what limitations do we have to work with from a structure standpoint. So I'm going to get into, where are these being made? How are they being filled? Is it an auto? Is with this, it's definitely a bunch of robotics are involved. And that means that everything has to be precision, and there's probably not a whole lot of things that we can do from a material standpoint. So, they're probably like, oh, this is running at our blah, blah, blah facility where we do our R&D. And there we can only run this obnoxious film because that's the only thing that they can run through their machine because it's limited edition. It's like, okay, well then that's it. So now we have to use this very specific film in a very specific dye line with a very specific, I didn't even look. Yeah, there's just a thermoform plastic tray that's in there.
Just the regular tray.
Because there's a lot of really cool stuff that you can do from a material standpoint. But if the machinery can't handle it, then it's a non-starter, right? So that's my guess, is that, Mondelez for this one and then Coke for this one. The material on this is like, honestly,
it is what it is.
Yeah, but don't put this in the aluminum can. If you're gonna do the iconic glass bottle, then put it in the glass bottle.
Yeah.
And they probably could, right? But so that's typically where I start, is I want to know what are my limitations, and then we're going to create.
Great if it was in the bottle, then even if it's in the plastic bottle, then you've got the lid, and the lid's something that's easier to customize than anything else.
You can make it an Oreo,
dude. You could have made the lid top could have been the whole Oreo texture and shape. Like, how cool would that be?
Right.
Yeah,
I think that would have been great. So that's from my perspective. And then I get everything together, and then we pass it off to to graphic designers.
Mm.
And typically a printer is not going to have any, we try to stay out of subjective things like, I don't think this is going to look good. Because, you're dealing with, is the color right? Is the traps correct? Do we have the bleed all accurately done? Does the barcode scan? Stuff like that. So we're usually dealing with that. I'm not typically getting in saying like, I think your packaging design sucks. We're not going to print it, bro. That's not normally something that we're going to say.
No. But you've seen enough packaging, and as a consumer, you've shopped enough to see things on shelf. And like you said, this wasn't with the rest of the cookies. Like you had to go to a different area. I went looking for the same stuff and I couldn't find it either. I had to go to the counter and be like, dude, do you guys have the Oreo Coke thing? And he's like, I think we have like a display in the front of the store somewhere. It's like, it's over there. So, I went looking, and they had like a little stand-up display with cookies on one side and cans on the other. But other than that, like this was not with the sodas and this was not with the cookies. So it wasn't necessarily competing against anything else other than real estate. It was they had a bunch of other promo items there. They had like new beers. They had like Halloween candy. It wasn't where anybody's going to go to see it. So if you're walking by, had you not seen all the billboards and things online, you're probably going to walk right past that and not even consider that this is Oreo because it's black. And Oreo's not, again, this to me looks like it's Oreo outer space. It's like black, and you've got the Oreo, and the Oreo shape kind of feels like outer spacey. And then you've got like this rocket ship watch happening over here. Like maybe you maybe walk over to that thing, but it's not a big enough display to draw attention. It's really
kind of
more
like
for
a Star Wars collab.
Yeah.
Like the red lightsaber, like what is it? I don't know. Sorry, Star Wars people. What's the one with Frodo? No, I'm just kidding. But Kylo Ren, right? Like, doesn't he have like a red lightsaber? Like that's almost what it looks like.
And like Coke did something with them where they were doing, they use these guys, they're called Enuro, who does the labels for Coke, where you like touch the Coke bottle and the label lights up, and they've got like a blue lightsaber and a red lightsaber that lights up on there.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's like, that's fun. That makes sense. This one, for me is a fail. Like on the pack, in terms of competition and real estate distribution for a collaboration of this size, I would say logo, I think, needs to be larger. I think even just on regular Oreo packs, the logo is larger already. So making it smaller kind of, breaks the overall standard design of Oreo. Having Coca-Cola on here, I think, is good, but not necessarily at these scales, or one over the other. This thing doesn't make any sense.
No.
Keep it simple, but I think also the color, right? It could be the blue, or if they want to do the red, then, incorporate red into the Oreo pack somehow, whether it's like, the red's like splashing on and you still have like a little bit of the blue Oreo packs. It can, like, they're coming together, or just make like a big cookie, right? That has like the Oreo texture. They even had some other graphics that had like the Oreo texture and the Coke texture together. Like there's something cool that you could have done, like just a big version of that bottle cap. Like there's so many things that you could do to make this thing stand out. There's a super subtle texture. I don't know if that even gets picked up on the camera here.
It's like a light gray.
Yeah, it's like a circular
Oreo
repeating pattern.
Is that supposed to be an Oreo?
No, those are bottles.
Those are bottles? Stop it. Why do you do the bottles and then put it all in a can? What are we doing here? What is the point?
Like they could have even used this repeating bottle pattern for this side of for just the regular Oreo side.
It looks like Swedish fish.
They do look like Swedish fish. That's the next, it's like preparing you for the next Oreo collaboration. So if somebody's looking to do packaging, if you're trying to improve your packaging, so one, I think it's like you prioritize the brand. You can't do both. You can't prioritize both Coke and Oreo on the same pack. It's one or the other. And on this one, obviously, it's Oreo because this is the product. On this one, it should be Coke because that's the product, and Oreo is a part of it, even though it's just vanilla Coke. But you can't try to cram both of them on the same pack. Otherwise, you don't know what you're getting.
Can I ask you a question on that? Because I think
Yeah.
if we're talking about like designing packaging for a brand, a lot of these decisions, almost all of these decisions are not made by one singular person, right?
Mhm.
There's a group of people. And I'm curious, and I know you've been a part of a lot of these meetings, Evelio.
Yep.
How do you think this thing went from concept to, layout to
Mhm.
mock-ups to and do decisions like these get made because it's all the same people who are continue to make the same decisions? Because to me, there was different voices maybe involved in it. It seems like I don't know, because then they got this whole like besties for a limited time, and it's this like
The QR code thing, right?
Spotify Gen Z, like Gen Alpha kind of thing, and I'm like, how this is Coke Zero and Pop Rocks? How this is not for?
Right.
Is this really for Gen Z? I don't know. I don't even know who this is for. And did they get those people involved?
Mhm.
Because that would be one takeaway for me is like not only prioritize the brand, but understand who you're trying to sell to and involve people from that demographic for either at your company
Yeah.
or go pay for the studies.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. Like, I think if, let's say, they hired an outside design agency, right? And brands like this do this all the time. They'll hire a design agency, outside design agency. They'll bring them in. This is the collaboration we're doing. Let's put together some packaging. I'm sure they designed amazing packaging. Like,
Probably
I'm sure the
7
first
different
round
things.
stuff that they shared was insanely amazing. If you were to see that today, you'd be like, holy shit, I want to pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes through, you've got somebody saying there's not enough Coke on this pack, right? Coke is paying to be a part of this thing. It's got to show up on the pack. Okay. Round two, they add a little bit more Coke. Still not enough Coke, right? Oreo is coming back saying, okay, well, these are our cookies. We've got to push the cookies as well. Versus, there's a battle within the collaboration of who's going to stand out the most and who's investing the most in here. Versus,
Mm-hmm.
what's going to get the most eyeballs on this pack to get it off the shelf quickly. And maybe this becomes a standard product, not just a limited time, right? If you sell enough of this stuff, there's no reason that it doesn't come back again. Or if you're doing a limited edition, you want to sell through to end that limited edition, make it truly limited. Because I tell you, when I picked these up on the display, I was probably the first or second person to take something off the display.
Yeah,
People
there
are
was a
walking
lot left
past
when
this
I
thing.
grabbed mine.
Yeah, it was super full. Nobody's buying these things other than make videos about it because you don't even know these things exist.
Well, we don't know. I don't know if people are buying them or not. I'm sure that Coca-Cola and Mondelez have the data
Oh, for sure.
for sure. They know exactly what's happening here. I can tell you that much right now. And it might be working great, and we don't know it because our perspectives are just our perspectives. And if so, then the packaging is doing its job, right? If somebody from Coke calls us and they're just like, well, actually,
If you're from
uh,
Coke, call us.
yeah, our sales are through the roof, sir. And studies are showing that people love the Oreo Coke bottle. And I'll be like, great, it's doing its job. That's what packaging is supposed to
Yep.
do. To protect the product. Does it help it sell? It doesn't mean that the design is great, but if it's working, fantastic, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And again, because we're in the industry, the algorithm everywhere, doesn't matter if it's LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, it's showing us packaging related stuff and design related stuff. So we're getting flooded with this. People whose algorithm is not this are probably not seeing as much as we are. So again, I think if you're, as you're designing it, if you're buying packaging, if you're launching a brand, the things to consider are, does your pack make sense? Does it communicate? Are you having people confused? Like, show it to your mom, show it to your weird uncle, like show it to everybody that you can share it with, and don't tell them anything about the pack. Just get their feedback, because you're going to get somebody going, hey, cool. Is there a watch in this container? Like, is there a watch in this pack? Or is this part of the outer space program? Is this part of Star Wars? Like, you're going to get some stuff that you're not going to love, but that's how you improve, because that's your consumer, right? People are going to see it on shelf. Are they going to get confused? Is it the right colors? I understand, Adam, your point of if they went blue, then that's Pepsi, and red might be Chips Ahoy. So there could be that kind of confusion. I do love the idea of this going in a bottle, having that lid be more Oreo related. And that's really all you need. You don't need a whole lot.
Mm-mm. Yeah, and because the bottle is iconic, right? Like you can make the glass, especially if it's a glass bottle. I think that would have been the win. Because the glass bottles are collectible. You could have even done, since the labels are packaging.
Some people believe that.
You could even do, and Coke has done this before, where they had the Share a Coke campaign. It was wildly successful.
Yeah.
And they had the Coke label that turned into a bow, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could have done variable printing on the labels for the Coke, to create a real like limited edition feel to it. Or I don't know. There's a lot of things that you could have done with the label on the glass bottle that you can't do with their gravure printed can.
Yeah.
Because this has got to be one. The plates are so much money. The changeovers are really expensive. It's like you load this thing up and you're going to print as many as you want to, and then you're going to take it down. So I would have liked to see that as well. I would have been besties for a limited time with them.
Yeah. Are you buying these again?
1,000%. That's a no for me, dog. I would not. Now my kids see, but this is just, I keep coming back to this. I'm like,
we're not the
my
audience,
kids are ages 9 to 17, and they may love this. Like they did a Sour Patch Kid one, and I don't know, they may love them. I told them they couldn't eat them because I had to make this video, and now they can go eat them because I won't be. I don't care how loud they are because I ain't snacking on these things. And again, maybe that's the case. But if that is the case, and that's who you're trying to reach out to, number one, like maybe the Coke Zero is intentional as I'm thinking about this, because you've got like prime energy and you've got all these like low zero sugar drinks.
Do you think kids are drinking Coke Zero?
No, but I think kids would drink this. This does not taste like Coke Zero. This tastes like legit vanilla Coke. And so that's part of the angle here. I mean, they didn't, brands, these are billion-dollar companies. They don't just make things for the point of making them, right? They're making them to reach to a new, to sell product to different people, right? So while I'm not going to drink this, and I'm certainly not going to eat the Oreos, perhaps there's a demographic that is.
Marketing, super.
That's a good point. I mean, maybe this is the bridge product to get young people to drink Coke Zero, right? To try Coke Zero. It's like, oh, this tastes like full-fledged vanilla Coke, which isn't good anyway.
Listen, I won't take that slander. That was when that first came out, I was like, between Crystal Pepsi and vanilla Coke, those are going to be served in heaven. I'm just going to walk up to the vending machine in heaven and just be like, I'm going to get some Crystal Pepsi. I'm going to get some vanilla Coke. I'll put both of them together.
If you're out there selling drinks in cans, what's the one thing that somebody should take away from this?
If you're selling, well, there's a lot of people selling a lot of different drinks in aluminum cans. Aluminum cans are one of the few packaging substrates that has seen an increase since 2020. So a lot of packaging saw like a slight dip, and then like COVID just like skyrocketed all sorts of different packaging mediums. Aluminum cans have stayed there because not just sodas in it, beers in it, we got wine in it, we've got water in it, we've got a sparkling water, we've got kombucha in it. Like everything is going to cans.
So what does that do?
Honestly, that's where I would say you have this advantage now, and they could have done this to go figure out something else to stand out, because aluminum cans don't stand out anymore. They're pretty normal. A 12 ounce sleek can or whatever the size you have, you got 2 ounces, you got a shot of Coke Zero with Oreo. So it's tough. I think it's really hard to stand out. Now, the one thing I do tell people who are in cans is if you can't get a pre-decorated can, and you can print the can, and then the can comes to you without the cap on it, and then it gets filled, and this cap gets put onto it. So if you get what's called a bright, which is just silver, the whole thing is silver, and you got to put a shrink sleeve on it, or you got to put a label on it. If you put the shrink sleeve on it, put a little zipper so people can take it off, because the labels and the shrink sleeves, because they are packaging, those things are going to be disruptive in the recycling stream. The only thing I learned about aluminum cans from this is that this shouldn't have been an aluminum can. I think they should have definitely taken the opportunity to go back to the glass and done that whole thing, right? Like you can picture the dad or the mom talking to his kids, like back in the day, this is how we used to get in there. You got the bottle opener and they're doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
That could have been really cool.
One thing that I really like that I don't see used often enough is the black tops to the cans. You know, I've seen them in silver. I've seen them in, obviously you can kill it for silver. I've seen them in gold. But when I see these in black, it just looks so tough. It just looks so good. Like it's really cool. And having a full black can, you know, that black top would feel like an Oreo. Again, it gives you like another opportunity to create something cool.
They could have also done like some, maybe some different coatings. I don't work for like a can printing company. I never have, but I think that you can do some different coatings perhaps on this, where maybe you could have matted out some of it, and that could have created a pretty cool dynamic. But you know what they should have done? It's just not been in a can.
You could have just called that.
You got the bottle, you got the Swedish Fish bottle and the Rolex bottle all over this one, and put it in the bottle.
All right, man. So if you've got any questions on packaging, do us a favor, throw it in the comments. We're happy to help you find a source for your packaging, help you figure out who can design it for you if we're not going to do it for you.